When I was 10, my little brother was 7. We were walking along a road in Greenville, South Carolina. A man pulled up in a car alongside us, and he offered us $10 each to help him go to a creek to pull up a fish net. We didn't think much about it. I mean, I was 10, he was 7. We were just kids. It was the 70s. We didn't even know what child molestation was. We generally trusted adults, at least as far as that goes. Didn't think that anything like that would ever happen. And we were living in the projects, so neither one of us ever had any money. My dad was just coming back from Vietnam, and he never sent us any money home. But that's another story. Anyway, this man drove us not too far away out in the country. He led us through the woods to a creek. He told us to get down to our underwear so we wouldn't get our clothes wet. Kind of protested this, but then he took on another whole personality, and he just yelled at me and told me to do it. And he scared us into it. So we took off our clothes. He actually told us to get down to our underwear, not to take off our clothes. We never did take off our clothes completely. So we stripped down to our underwear and we walked this river for a while, this creek. It wasn't a river, it was a creek. So anyway, all this led to us getting molested. I'm not going to go into details of what happened after that, but this guy changed into a very scary person. But the very worst part of this was just seeing my little brother being humiliated like he was. He was 7 years old. He never hurt anyone. He never did anything. How could a 7-year-old hurt anyone? And I felt like it was my job to protect him, but I couldn't stop it. I was too scared. And there was a pocket knife that was in my pants pocket. And it crossed my mind probably over and over again to grab that pocket knife and stab this guy. I didn't care what happened to me. I just wanted to. I thought that, pretty sure I knew that I couldn't kill him or I couldn't injure him bad enough, but I felt like I could maybe hurt him enough, just long enough for my little brother to get away. But I was too scared, and I was thinking that there was a chance that neither one of us would get out alive if I'd done this. So anyway, after all this, we followed him through the woods back to his car. And he drove off, left us there. I don't know how we found our way back home. But I did see his car, and I saw in the back window, it was a kind of a hatchback, and I saw that he had a bow gun in the back of his car. But anyway, I got home, told my mom about it. She called the police, and they came and took a report. I described the car and some other details, told him about the bow gun. And when I told him about the car, the description and the bow gun, they looked at each other and were kind of talking they were kind of discussing. And they both seemed to have an idea of who this person was. So apparently, it wasn't the first time that this happened involving this guy. But anyway, nothing was ever done or ever said again about it. So I had to deal with this humiliation, this trauma. A day or so later, my older brother, who was never fully in his right mind, decided it'd be funny to tell all the other kids in the neighborhood about it. And we lived in the projects. So being, little kids, they made a big joke about it. So I had to deal with the ridicule from the neighborhood kids too. The humiliation, I had to carry that around. Nobody really knows what happens to your mind. This was a one-time thing for me, for my little brother. I can't even imagine the horrors and the trauma that the kids who are abused for a lifetime go through. 50 years later, my little brother's passed away years ago, but I still carry this pain. Still carry it with me. It's mostly suppressed memory, but there are certain things like what's going on now that bring it back, just like it happened yesterday, and it put me right back into a depressed stage, but I'll get over it. This affects your whole life. The feelings of rage and hate, it really does. You carry that rage around with you the rest of your life. There's a part of you that just wants to kill someone. No one can really understand that until they feel it. And to have that feeling inside of you constantly when you're a little kid, when you should be enjoying life, doing what little boys and are supposed to do, but you have this feeling that you just rage, that you just want to hurt people. And I took it out on other kids by playing football for 6 years. I didn't want to play offense. I loved defense, because when I played defense, I got a chance to crush people, to hurt people. I started lifting weights. 10 years old, I was lifting weights. But there's another thing, is you never feel normal again. You never feel normal. You never feel like you fit in. You always carry this secret around with you.
The world is sound asleep and too afraid of what might show up while you're dreaming. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. And every day you try to pick up all the pieces, all the memories, they somehow never leave you. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. There's a kind of love, there's a kind of love. You keep a cover over every single secret, so afraid if someone saw them they would leave. But somebody sees you. Somebody will never leave you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. There's a kind of love, there's a kind of love. There's a kind of love, there's a kind of love. For the lonely, for the ashamed, the misunderstood and the ones to blame. What if we could start over? We could start over. We could start over. Oh, for the lonely, for the ashamed, the misunderstood and the ones to blame. What if we could start over? We could start over. We could start over. 'Cause there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they God only knows how to break through. God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.